This is the Red Podcast.
This is episode number 116. We're talking about how you can get better and more effective testimonials from your customers so people want to do business with you. I've also got a very effective backlinking strategy that I'm going to share. That's coming up on this episode.
This is the Red Podcast. Real entrepreneur development. Make more money, work less, and live a life of freedom. No BS advice that really works. Here's your hosts, David Hooper and Laurel Staples.
In news of the weird, just so happens there's a swingers club in Nashville.
Just so happens you've been there.
We got to explain that. When I was running my music conference, we used venues throughout the city, 22 venues at a pop. And nobody wanted to host a rap concert. Some guys had gotten shot at a rap show. We had to move the rap show like 3 times, and we ended up doing a rap show at the Swingers Club. But yeah, I've been there.
There you go, making connections.
Yeah, well, so
networking.
It's the thing you would expect the least, to find a rap music concert at a Swingers Club. But that's how open these guys are. Anyway, they're moving. Real estate in this area, they just couldn't hold out any longer. Developer wanted to put up a condo. They're moving out in what I call the county now, outside of Metro Nashville. There's a lot of protests, as you can imagine. Swingers Club moves into your area. Not a good thing, right? You know who the number one protester is?
Church of Christ?
Close. It's a preacher, but here's the funny thing. This is where it gets weird. The Swingers Club is just the red herring. This preacher, Maury Davis, has a church called Cornerstone, convicted murderer. Can you believe that? So he's worried about the Swingers Club moving into his neighborhood. I'd be more worried about the preacher. This is the Red Podcast. Red stands for Real Entrepreneur Development. We help you build an audience, sell more products, and make more money. We're business optimizers. We're going to show you how to be more efficient in your marketing and find the hidden money sitting right in front of you. Maybe that's part of the marketing strategy for that church, having a convicted murderer as the pastor.
Hey, I'd go to see that.
We're going to talk about endorsements, testimonials, and reviews once again in episode 114. That was redpodcast.com/114 if you want to listen to that. We talked about how to go about getting them. On this episode, we're going to talk about what makes a good testimonial, but I've also got a secret backlinking strategy at the very end that you can use with the testimonials that you get or give. So let's talk about what makes a good testimonial.
First and foremost, a problem has to be solved in the testimonial. It's great to have a before and after snapshot of the client or the customer that you've worked with. For instance, before I worked with X person, I was in this shape. After I worked with them, I was in this shape. So before I had little money, now I have a lot of money. Before I was fat, now I'm thin. I'm obviously generalizing here, but you get the idea. Before and after is really important.
Right. So when you have somebody who comes to you and he says, I really like your product, that's not an effective testimonial. It's going to be much better if, for example, you are in the weight loss business. He says, I really love this product. Before I found your product, I weighed 400 pounds. Now I weigh 200 pounds. Much more effective.
Yeah, it's very clear. And I like what you said, David. If someone just says they like you or they like your service or like your product or program, that's not really effective. I've seen, especially for coaches, a lot of testimonials that coaches use. Oh, I really liked working with Jane. She is an amazing health coach or business coach or something like that. Nobody cares if your clients like you. They care what results your clients got. So you got to make the distinction there.
But if somebody's coming to you and he says, I really like working with you, Jane, that's your opportunity to ask why. What experience did you have? What results did you see? That's what's going to separate a great testimonial from one that really isn't going to do anything for you.
So when you're asking your clients or customers for testimonials, have them be clear. Give them a format. Say, okay, before you worked with me, fill in the blank. Where were you? And after, where were you? You can also do this for them. when I was doing health coaching, I would write down everything the client said in the first session with where they were at in their life, what they weighed, what their stress level was, all of that stuff. And then I'd bring it up in the last session and I'd say, look, this is what you told me in the first session. Now here's where you are. And in that case, either they could write a testimonial with a before and after shot, or I could say, hey, I can write you a testimonial and show the difference here, and you can tweak it if you want to.
The success has to be real. I found in group programs sometimes a lot of people just want to join in. So if you've had a couple people that are having real great success, you'd have somebody else that might exaggerate his success just to join in. Don't do that. It has to be real. The success also has to be believable and within reason. Take it back to weight loss. How many times have you seen these ads where there'll be some guy and he's holding up pants that were like 80 sizes too big, and now he's super skinny, looks like a supermodel.
And it's like 2 weeks later.
All I had to do was take this pill.
Yep.
You get the idea. Even if you're not in the weight loss market, the reason we use that example is because there's so many testimonials, so many exaggerated testimonials that you can relate to. The testimonial has to be within reason, because somebody reading it who's thinking about doing business with you, if it's too exaggerated, what he's going to say is, that's great for that person, but that's not going to work for me. So sometimes it's better to have a testimonial that maybe isn't as good, if you will, because it's more believable.
And of course, there's always the option to go on Fiverr and hire people to do testimonials and do product reviews. People do that all the time. I would say steer clear of that if this is your main business and if you're trying to get real clients, if you're trying to get ideal customers into your business. Get real results, get real success stories. Those are the ones that are going to speak to your future prospects.
If you go on Fiverr and if you see somebody with a gig doing a job of doing testimonials, that can be super tempting. But if you look at how many people those guys are doing testimonials for, realize that it's going to be very easy for somebody who does a little digging to find another testimonial and another testimonial and another testimonial from this person. That's one thing to watch out for. But also, a lot of those guys are just reading. It's like, yes, I lost a lot of weight. It's not real. So people can see the inauthenticity of it, and that's going to get you too. There's 2 strikes against you. Not worth it for $5. It's better to have no testimonial at all than something that might tip off the BS detector of a potential client.
Exactly. And your clients that are satisfied with your product or service are going to have an emotional connection to it. And that's the only way that's going to be able to come through, is if they've had a real success with it. And you can't, I guess if you found a really good actor, you could hire that out. But you just want to find people that enjoy what you do, and they're going to share it with you in a testimonial, and they're going to share it with other people as well. It's just going to be more effective.
Specificity is something that you're going to want in your testimonial. If you lost weight, how much weight was it? It needs to be something like 265 pounds, 266 pounds, 275 and a half pounds.
That's a lot of weight. We'll go for like 26.
I'm thinking big.
Okay.
But it can't be, I lost 100 pounds. It can't be 40, 50, 60. It's much better if it's something like 27 rather than 25, 28 rather than 30. Same with money. A lot of times in the online marketing world, I made $1,000. Oh, really? Just happened to be exactly $1,000? No, it needs to be down to the cent.
I don't know if it needs to be down to the cent, but I was watching a webinar the other day, and on the webinar, the presenter was giving basically a testimonial of someone who had gone through his program that he was going to sell at the end, and he said they had made $21,646 or something like that. So it was really specific. It wasn't $20,000. It wasn't $22,000. It was specific on the number. It wasn't down to the cents, but you get the idea that it's more believable that way. It's like, oh, wow, instead of just rounding up or down.
I think the big thing that needs to come through in testimonials, specific benefits. Certainly losing weight is a benefit. Making money, a benefit. How did somebody use your product or service? Get specific. For example, I lost 26 pounds, and because of that, blank. My wife found me more attractive. Women are walking up to me and asking me on dates. People are walking up to me and just handing me money. They think I'm so good looking now.
That happens to you a lot, doesn't it, David? You know firsthand that happens. I absolutely agree with you here. When you're selling to a prospect in the first place, that's what you try to make the connection with. It's not, we're talking about weight loss here. It's not that you want to lose 25 pounds, 26 pounds, whatever that is. It's that you want to feel more confident. You want to be able to go shopping and buy the clothes that you want. You want to have more energy so you can keep up with your kids. You want to de-stress. You want to feel good. All these other things. If you can have that person, your client, your happy, satisfied client, tell that back to you in a testimonial, that's when it just really hits home for people and for your future clients to see the added benefits or the specific benefits on top of just the weight loss in this case.
This is a big marketing idea we've talked about a lot on Red Podcast, but it's so important, it's worth mentioning again. Somebody doesn't buy a drill because they want a drill. The reason people buy drills, they want holes. What are those holes? What is that end result that you can put in your testimonial? That's what's going to get you the results of getting new clients, getting people to spend money with you, getting people excited about what you do.
Because the whole point of testimonials is to build trust with future clients and prospects. That's the entire point. And if you can show the great things that have happened with the people that you've worked with, that's building trust with future people. And then they're more likely to spend money with you and understand what they get from your services. A lot of times, especially with coaching, it's just really unclear what coaching is to a lot of people. It's a new concept. People are used to taking a pill or getting a widget, something that's really clear and tangible and definite. Coaching, some other services aren't that tangible. And testimonials help you communicate, okay, this person got this result, this person got this result, and it makes it more tangible to your future prospects and clients.
When you're crafting testimonials for other people, when other people are crafting testimonials for you, think about the person reading them, viewing them, listening to them. What is that person thinking? That's one of the reasons that you want to think about objections, the objections that your customers have. Why wouldn't somebody buy from you? And include that in your testimonial. For example, I was skeptical when I first met you, Laurel, but after your coaching, I lost 26 pounds in only 13 days. And now people are walking up to me on the street. They think I'm so good looking. They're handing me money.
Another one is I tried everything. I have tried every single diet out there. Nothing worked until I found your weight loss program, your health coaching program, whatever your program is. So I tried everything, but nothing worked till now.
I thought you were asking for a lot of money, but this was a bargain.
Yeah, exactly. At first, I thought your coaching program or your product or your service, I thought it was pretty expensive or I thought it was a lot of money, but it was absolutely worth every penny that I spent. I could not have done this without it.
If you're online, especially in the markets we've been talking about, make money, coaching, weight loss, that's probably the worst one. People are very, very sophisticated. They're used to seeing testimonials. They're used to seeing advertising. They're used to hearing promises, and they're used to not getting results. Because of this, you have to overcome skepticism, and it's a perfect time for you to do that within a testimonial. It's not you telling people to overcome skepticism. It's somebody else who's had success saying, hey, I was in the same place that you are now. It's going to be okay.
This is great because when you have these in your testimonials, it means you don't have to do it as much in your sales copy or in your initial meeting with the client. However you get customers or clients, you don't have to overcome all those tough questions and concerns and skepticism in other parts of your marketing if you can do it here. So this really helps make your job to convert prospects to clients or prospects to customers a lot easier.
Something else that's important is to not make a testimonial overly formal. To whom it may concern, Laurel is the best coach ever. Sincerely yours, David of the David Company. Real language. Poor grammar is okay. Laurel, you do a lot of video testimonials. You've had a lot of live events. You've got video testimonials. Sometimes those video testimonials are raw.
What do you mean raw?
They've got mistakes. Somebody will have a false start.